you know what's funny? Most people think a kiss is just about lips touching lips, but the truth is it's so much more. When a man kisses you, he's not just feeling your mouth, he's feeling everything you're communicating without words. And yes, that includes your confidence, your comfort, your curiosity, even your hesitation. A kiss is emotional language. It's your energy saying, I see you, I feel safe here. You can let go. Most women don't realize that men actually read into a kiss far more deeply than they admit. He won't tell you this, but in those first few seconds, he's searching for something, connection. He's subconsciously asking, does she really want me? Or is this just a moment? Because for men, attraction begins in the body, but connection begins in the kiss. Think about that for a second. The way you lean in, the way you breathe, whether your body softens or stays guarded, all of it tells him a story about how open you are to him and how much trust you're offering. When a woman kisses from her mind, it feels mechanical, but when she kisses from her emotion, it hits him like electricity, because suddenly he's not kissing for pleasure, he's kissing for belonging. And here's where most people get it wrong. They try to perform the perfect kiss. They worry about pressure, timing, lips, technique. But the truth is, men don't remember perfect technique. They remember how they felt. Was it soft and safe? Was it teasing and mysterious? Or did it make his chest tighten just a little? That ache of wanting more. You see, when a man feels that kind of kiss, something changes. His guard drops. His mind slows down. He's not thinking, he's feeling. And that's the secret. Because the moment you make a man feel, you've already connected deeper than any words ever could. So, before we even talk about where to kiss him, you need to understand this first truth. A kiss isn't a move, it's an invitation. And the more emotionally present you are in that invitation, the more he feels seen, desired, and safe enough to crave you. Why men crave meaning in touch? Let's get real for a moment. A lot of women believe men are mostly physical creatures, that affection or kissing is just another form of foreplay. But that belief couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, men love touch. But what they really crave is meaning behind that touch. When a man feels your lips on him, when it's not rushed, not distracted, it tells him something powerful. You want him, not just his body. And that difference, it's everything. See, most men rarely experience touch that feels intentional. They might be used to quick affection or kisses that happen in routine. Hello, goodbye, good night. But when you kiss him slowly, deliberately, when your energy says, I'm right here fully with you, he feels a kind of validation that words can't give. You're showing him something deeper than passion. You're giving him peace. And here's the secret psychology behind it. Men often use physical connection to access emotional connection. It's their language of closeness. So when a kiss carries emotion, care, warmth, attention, it tells him you're safe to feel here. That's what creates the addiction, not just the kiss itself, but what it means. Because to him, your kiss isn't random, it's reassurance. It says, I see you as more than what you do, I see who you are. And the moment he feels that, his body relaxes, his tone softens. He starts mirroring your energy, his breathing slows, his eyes linger longer, and suddenly you're not just touching him, you're sensing with him. That's when he starts craving you, not out of lust, but out of bonding. You become the place where he can drop his armor. And that's rare for most men. So here's a perspective shift. A kiss isn't the start of something physical. It's the beginning of emotional trust. When you bring awareness, emotion, and care into your touch, he feels something he didn't even know he was missing. A kind of connection that doesn't demand, but draws him in naturally. That's why when a woman kisses with intention, she stands out in his memory. Because it's not about performance, it's about presence. And presence is magnetic. The confidence factor, let's talk about confidence, because this is where everything changes. Confidence isn't about walking into a room and demanding attention. It's about being so grounded in your own energy that you don't need to perform. And in intimacy, that confidence shows up in the smallest ways. It's the way you take your time, the way you let silence exist without rushing to fill it, the way your kiss says, I know my power. I don't need to prove it. Most women overthink intimacy because they've been told confidence means being bold or flawless. But the truth is, confidence is quiet. It's steady. It's presence. When you're with him, don't worry about being sexy enough. Instead, focus on being connected enough. He doesn't want a performance. He wants presence. He wants to feel that when your lips touches, you're not trying to impress him. You're feeling him. That's what makes him melt. And here's the beautiful irony. When you stop worrying about being perfect, you become irresistible. Because that's when your energy flows naturally, your laugh becomes softer, your breathing deeper, your touch more relaxed. Confidence, in its most magnetic form, is safety. When a woman is comfortable in herself, she becomes the space where a man feels comfortable too. So if you ever find yourself thinking, what if I'm not doing this right? Take a slow breath. Remember, the kiss isn't a test, it's a translation. It's how your body says what your words can't. I'm here, I'm open, I'm in control of my energy. And once you embrace that you won't have to chase moments of connection, you'll create them effortlessly. Because a confident woman doesn't force desire, she invites it. Place number one, the kiss he feels in his mind, the mental kiss before you even touch him. Before you ever touch a man, you've already kissed him. You kiss him the moment your eyes linger just a little too long, when your voice softens mid-sentence, when your breath slows down as you look at him, and he feels it. That's the first kiss, the one that happens in his mind. See, attraction doesn't begin with lips or skin. It begins with energy, with the subtle cues that whisper, I'm aware of you. And when a woman carries that awareness, everything she does becomes magnetic. She doesn't rush. She doesn't fidget. She holds space. And in that silence, he starts to lean in mentally before he ever moves physically. This is the part most women overlook. They think the kiss begins when their lips meet. But in truth, it starts long before that. It starts with how you make him anticipate you. Think of your presence as a slow, invisible touch. The way you tilt your head slightly when he's talking. The way you glance down, then look back up into his eyes, a quiet invitation. The way your tone drops when you say his name. Each one of these moments tells his mind something primal. She sees me. She feels me. She's not afraid to let me notice her noticing me. That's the kiss that no one talks about, the mental one. It's not about what you do, it's about what you allow him to feel. And when you master this, you no longer chase connection, you draw it in. Because the truth is, men are just as sensitive to energy as women are. They just express it differently. When he feels your calm confidence, your grounded curiosity, your slow rhythm, he begins to crave your presence even before you touch him. This kind of kiss rewires his thoughts about you. You're not the woman he wants for a moment. You're the woman he can't get out of his mind. So remember, the most powerful kiss you'll ever give doesn't start with your lips. It starts with your presence, with your stillness, with that quiet confidence that says, without words, I'm not in a hurry. You'll feel me long before I touch you. How to create the energy he can't resist now that you understand the mental kiss. Let's talk about the energy behind it, the kind that makes him lean toward you without realizing why. It's not magic, it's mastery. And it starts with awareness of your body, your breath, your rhythm, because energy is contagious. When you're calm, he relaxes. When you're intentional, he pays attention. Let's break it down. When you're near him, slow everything down by just 10%. Your movements, your tone, even your breathing. That micro slowing signals control. It tells his subconscious that you're comfortable. Comfort is the sexiest thing in the world to a man who's used to rush and noise. Then the smile, not a full smile, but the hint of one. A small upward curve, soft eyes. It's not about showing confidence. It's about showing softness. That softness disarms him, because suddenly you're not performing attraction, you're inviting connection. Next, the pause. Before you lean in, before you speak, before you move closer, that tiny pause builds tension, not anxiety, but anticipation. It gives his imagination time to run wild. It lets him feel your attention before he feels your lips. That's the secret of irresistible energy. You let him participate in the moment without saying a word. And then when you do finally speak, lower your tone slightly, not whispering, but letting your voice carry warmth. Like every word is a soft brushstroke against his senses. This is what creates the pull, the invisible gravity between you. Because in that energy, he doesn't just see a woman he desires, he feels a woman who knows herself, who moves with calm certainty, who doesn't rush the moment because she is the moment. And that right there is the kind of energy men can't resist. You're teaching his nervous system something powerful. That intimacy with you feels safe, sensual, and electric all at once. So by the time your lips finally meet, he's already been kissed a dozen times through your presence, your tone, your eyes, your silence. You've built the anticipation so slowly, so skillfully that when it finally happens, it's unforgettable. That's the energy of attraction. You don't chase, you create it. from his mind to his skin now that you've kissed his mind through presence, tone, and energy. It's time to move closer, but not to rush. Because the next kiss isn't about taking more, it's about deepening what's already there. Here's the truth. When a man feels safe in his mind, he opens through his body. That's why this first place, his mind, always comes before touch. Think of it like a slow dance between energy and body. You've already been guiding him emotionally. Now you're about to guide him physically. But before that happens, let him feel the shift. It might be the way your hand gently finds his arm while you're still talking. The way you stay quiet for a moment, letting the silence breathe. The way your body naturally moves a little closer if it's following an invisible rhythm. That's the bridge from mental to physical. From imagination to sensation. You're not jumping from thought to touch, you're weaving them together. So by the time your lips find him, it doesn't feel like a move. It feels like the most natural next step in a story that's already been unfolding. And here's where anticipation becomes art. You don't have to think about how to kiss him next because your energy already has. You've created a current between you, one that makes him feel safe, intrigued, and seen. That's what every man secretly wants, not just passion, but permission. Permission to drop his guard, to stop performing, to simply feel. And that's what your kiss represents now. Not just desire, but depth. So as we move into the next chapter, remember this, you've already started something powerful. You've touched his thoughts. You've stirred his imagination. Now you're about to touch the part of him that craves safety, the place that makes him want to stay close. Because once you've kissed his mind, his body follows naturally. Place number 2, the kiss that grounds him, the neck and shoulder connection. If the first kiss begins in his mind, the second lives where his heartbeat hides just below the surface of his neck, where warmth meets pulse. This is the place that grounds him. Because while the mind creates desire, the body anchors it, and nothing does that more deeply or more safely than the soft, deliberate kiss between his neck and shoulder. It's not just about touch, it's about where and how you touch. When your lips find that space, the slope where his neck meets his shoulder, something quiet happens inside him. His breathing changes, his muscles release, and in that release, his whole body remembers what safety feels like. This area is where masculine energy softens, not because you take his power away, but because your presence tells his nervous system, you're safe here. Every man, no matter how strong or confident, carries tension in this area. It's where he holds stress, responsibility, expectation. When you kiss him there slowly, intentionally, it's like you're telling his body, you don't have to carry it all right now. It's a language without words, one he understands instantly, because what you're really doing is reminding him that intimacy isn't about dominance or performance. It's about grounding. It's about connection. The warmth of your lips on that spot sends a message his body can't ignore. It says, you're here. I see you. You can let go. And that's why this kiss feels different from the rest. It's not just passion, it's peace. Many women think passion means intensity, but the truth is the most intoxicating kind of passion often comes from stillness, from the slow, quiet moments where energy moves without words or rush. When your lips move along his neck and shoulder, you're not just giving affection, you're giving him permission to breathe. And something happens when a man feels that level of safety. He drops the mask, his guard lowers, and what emerges isn't just attraction, it's trust. That's when desire deepens into something magnetic. That's when your connection goes from physical to emotional, from temporary to unforgettable. Because you're not just kissing his skin, you're kissing his peace back into him. And that's what every man secretly craves, a moment where desire and safety can exist in the same breath. The power of pausing between touches in the world of intimacy. Silence is underrated, but silence, the pause between touches, is where everything real happens. Most women think momentum keeps passion alive, but the truth, it's the pause that makes it electric. Because when you pause just long enough for him to feel the absence of your lips, his body starts to miss you. His mind starts to chase the warmth you just left behind. That's not a game, that's rhythm, and rhythm is what separates a kiss from a connection. Think about it. If every moment is constant movement, there's no contrast, no anticipation, no awareness. But when you stop for a second, breathe, and then slowly start again, it's like turning the volume down just so the next note feels louder. That's what creates emotional charge. It's not about being slow for the sake of slow. It's about being intentional. Here's how it feels to him. Your lips brush his neck. Then you stop, your breath still warm on his skin. He feels that pause, that in-between moment where you haven't left, but you're not touching. That space is magnetic. It's where tension builds naturally, because in that space, he's no longer passive, he's aware. He feels you without needing movement. He feels your control, your confidence, your unhurried presence. And that's what drives him wild, not the act itself, but your command of it. When you master the pause, you stop worrying about doing it right. You start feeling it right, and that confidence radiates through every kiss, every breath, every moment of silence. The pause teaches you something vital. You don't have to fill every second. You don't have to rush to please. You just have to be. Stillness is power, because stillness shows control, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. And ironically, it's that stillness that makes him want you more. Because in a world where everything moves fast, you become the one thing that doesn't. You become the calm that he craves. So next time you find yourself overthinking, wondering if you should do more, move more, talk more, remember this: the pause is the moment. That's where desire breathes. That's where he realizes he doesn't just want your touch. He wants your presence. What his body tells you in response. Once you begin to understand how to move and pause, something beautiful starts to happen. His body begins to speak back to you. You don't need to guess whether he's enjoying it. His body will tell you. The first sign, his breathing, it changes rhythm from steady to slightly uneven. It's not that he's out of breath. It's that he's feeling more than he expected to feel. You'll notice it when his breath catches right after you pause, or when it deepens just before you touch him again. That's his body sensing with yours. The second sign is stillness. Sometimes when a moment truly lands, when your energy hits him right, he'll go completely still, not because he's frozen, but because his senses are flooded. That stillness is his body saying, don't move, stay right there. That's the most honest form of feedback you can get. Silence, not verbal praise, not movement, just quiet, grounded stillness. The third sign is the pull in. It's the small way he moves closer without realizing it, the way his hand finds your waist or his chin tilts toward you when you're near. Those are instinctive reactions. His body is literally reaching for more of the energy you've created. And that's how you know you've crossed from doing to connecting. You're no longer performing an act. You're communicating through sensation. When you start reading him this way, intimacy stops being a guessing game. It becomes a conversation, one where you're both listening and responding. And the more you tune into his subtle reactions, the more confident you'll feel, because you'll start to realize it's not about technique. It's about awareness. When his breath deepens, when his body stills, when his hand reaches, those are confirmations. He's telling you in the language of touch, I feel you. And once you recognize that your confidence shifts, you stop wondering if you're doing enough. You start trusting your intuition. Because the truth is, your intuition knows. It knows when to pause, when to move, when to whisper, when to let silence do the talking. Every reaction from him is a reflection of what you've created, a shared rhythm of energy and emotion. This is what separates a kiss that's good from a kiss that changes him. Because now it's not just his body responding, it's his emotion sensing with yours. He's not just attracted, he's anchored. He feels grounded, calm, drawn in, not because of what you did, but because of how you made him feel. That's what this place, the neck, the shoulder, the space between touch and breath is all about. It's not about excitement. It's about grounding him into the present moment with you. So the next time your lips find that space, remember, you're not just kissing him. You're reminding him what safety feels like. And in that safety, he'll crave you even more. Place number 3, the kiss that claims his heart, the chest, and his pulse point. By now, you've touched his mind. You've grounded his body. But there's one place left, one that most women overlook because it's not obvious yet. It's where he feels you the deepest. It's his chest, the place that holds his heart, both literally and emotionally. When your lips touch this area, the center of his chest, near the pulse that beats beneath his skin, something profound happens. You're not just giving affection. You're giving acceptance. Every man carries the weight of being strong, of holding it together, of appearing unshakable. But right beneath that surface lies the quiet truth. Every man wants to be seen, held, and loved without armor. When you kiss his chest, not playfully, not hurriedly, but with calm intention, you're speaking directly to that part of him. You're telling his heart, you don't have to fight here. It's not about seduction anymore. It's about surrender. This kiss isn't wild or demanding. It's slow, warm, centered. It's the kind of touch that says, you belong here. And the reason it feels so powerful to him is because the chest is both physical and symbolic. It's where strength meets vulnerability. It's where his heartbeat reminds him he's alive, but also where he hides everything he doesn't say. When your lips find that space, you bridge that divide. He doesn't just feel touched, he feels understood. That's the difference between attraction and connection. Attraction excites the body, connection calms the soul. And when you kiss his chest, you give him both the warmth of your lips, the rhythm of your breath against his pulse. It creates a moment he can't replicate anywhere else, because it's not about pleasure anymore. It's about peace. This is where love stops being spoken and starts being felt. He may not say it, but he'll remember it, because every time you touch him there, especially when he's quiet, tired, or vulnerable, it imprints something in his memory that you see the man beneath the surface, that you care not just for who he is to the world, but for who he becomes when he's with you. And that's why this place isn't just physical, it's sacred. It's where he starts to believe you're not just someone he desires, but someone he trusts. When to use this kiss, timing and energy, every kiss carries energy. Some ignite, some soothe. And this one, the kiss over his heart, has the power to reset everything. But here's the secret: it only works when you give it from stillness, not from need. Because this kiss isn't about getting closer, it's about being present. There are moments when his energy feels distant, after an argument, after stress, after silence. Those are not the times to chase him with words. They're the moments to reach him through calm presence. That's when this kiss becomes magic. Imagine this: you're sitting close, no tension in your body. You place your hand on his chest, right where his heartbeat is strongest. You lean in slowly. Your lips meet that spot, and you just stay there. No talking, no rush, just breath and warmth. That simple act tells him something no words can. It says, I'm here, we're okay. It resets his nervous system. It quiets his thoughts. And for a man who's often been taught to hold it all in, that kind of peace is rare. When you give him that kiss after an argument, it doesn't erase the issue. It softens it. It turns tension into tenderness, because you're showing him you can connect emotionally even when things aren't perfect. And that's what builds emotional security, not just in him, but in both of you. Now, timing matters. This kiss means the most when energy is grounded, not rushed. Use it when he's quiet, when words feel heavy, when his breathing slows and he's letting the world fade for a moment. That's when his heart is open enough to feel it. And when you give it without expectation, not as a signal for what comes next, but as an offering of peace. That's what makes it unforgettable. Because when a man experiences love without demand, he starts to crave that energy, not because it excites him, but because it heals him. It becomes his emotional anchor, the thing that keeps him coming back, not for pleasure, but for presence. So remember, not every kiss needs to lead to more. Sometimes the most powerful ones end in silence, where your breath and his heartbeat fall into rhythm. Because that's not just physical connection, that's emotional synchronization. That's when he realizes, this woman doesn't just know my body, she understands my soul. The heart-to-heart effect, every connection between a man and a woman exists on two levels, physical and emotional. Most people live on the first one. Few ever reach the second. Heart kiss bridges them. It's the moment when physical affection becomes emotional intimacy, when he doesn't just feel your lips, he feels you. Here's why it's unforgettable. When your lips touch his chest, your heartbeat is often close enough for him to feel it. Two rhythms, his and yours, sensing for just a few seconds. That's not just chemistry. That's biology meeting emotion. And that's where connection becomes memory. You're creating something his body remembers, even when his mind doesn't, a calmness that feels like home. When you reach that point, intimacy transforms. It's no longer about who's in control, who's desired more, or what happens next. It's about two energies meeting with equal softness and power. That's what claiming his heart really means. Not ownership, but resonance. It's not taking from him, it's meeting him where he's most human. This kind of intimacy doesn't fade easily, because once a man feels emotionally seen through physical connection, he associates that feeling with you. You become the calm in his chaos, the quiet he looks forward to, the place his body remembers as peace. That's the heart-to-heart effect. It's not about perfection or performance. It's about emotional rhythm, the silent conversation happening underneath the surface. And that's why when you walk away, He doesn't just think about how you touched him. He thinks about how you made him feel. That's the legacy of true feminine presence, not in grand gestures, but in small, grounded moments that whisper safety into his nervous system, because long after desire fades, the memory of peace stays. And when you become the woman who can give both desire and peace, that's when he doesn't just want you, he cherishes you. How to use these kisses to build desire naturally, desire without performance. Most women worry, am I doing it right? That single thought kills more chemistry than anything else, because real desire doesn't bloom from performance, it blooms from presence. The truth is, the most unforgettable moments rarely look perfect, they look real. Your laugh in between, the pause when you both catch your breath, the small, imperfect rhythm that suddenly feels completely natural. That's what men actually crave, authenticity. Because when you're not performing, he finally feels your energy, not your effort. Think about it. The mental kiss starts in awareness, the grounding kiss awakens safety, and the heart kiss creates trust. When those merge, you don't have to try to be magnetic, you are. He senses when your body relaxes into its own rhythm. He mirrors that ease back to you. And that's when desire becomes mutual instead of mechanical. So stop aiming for perfect. Let moments breathe. Let touch be uneven. Let silence speak for you. The more natural you are, the more magnetic you become. Because confidence isn't about control, it's about comfort. And nothing turns a man on more than a woman who is completely comfortable in her own energy. The emotional feedback loop, here's a secret most people never learn. Men don't just react to your body, they mirror your energy. Neuroscience calls it emotional mirroring. His brain literally syncs with yours through subtle cues, tone, breathing, expression. When you exhale slowly, his body unconsciously follows. When you stay calm, his nervous system relaxes. When you open emotionally, he opens physically. That's the feedback loop of desire. It's not about technique or dominance, it's about emotional leadership. When you feel grounded, he feels drawn in. When you're confident, he feels safe enough to let go. Think about how the 3 kisses flower. You first kiss his mind, setting curiosity, then his body, building safety, then his heart, creating depth. Each stage builds a cycle that teaches his body, with her I can relax and still crave. That's what makes desire sustainable. It's not built on adrenaline, it's built on emotional chemistry. And the best part, you don't need to say a word. Your stillness, your pace, your smile, they all do the talking. When your energy whispers, I'm sure of myself, his instincts translate it as irresistible, because confidence is contagious and yours teaches him how to feel. Slow confidence practice tonight when you're with him, or even alone. Try this gentle practice. Take a deep breath, soften your shoulders, let your breath slow down until you can feel your heartbeat. Now imagine him in front of you. Don't rush toward him. Just feel the energy between you, the invisible space. That's where attraction starts. In your mind, trace the 3 kisses. His mind, through your gaze. His body, through presence and pacing. His heart, through your calm. Notice how even the thought of slowing down changes your energy. That's the power you carry everywhere you go. Because sensual confidence isn't something you perform when you're with someone. It's something you practice when you're with yourself. When you can slow down and feel safe in your own body, you stop chasing reactions. You start creating connection. That's the secret to natural desire, not what you do, but who you are while doing it. So tonight, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being present, because when you own that stillness, everything, touch, breath, connection naturally falls into rhythm. The secret power behind every kiss, what this really teaches you about power. You might think this journey was about learning where to kiss him, but in truth, it's been about remembering your power, because every kiss you give reflects how you feel about yourself. When you kissed his mind, you practiced awareness. When you kissed his body, you practiced presence. When you kissed his heart, you practiced empathy. Those aren't just intimacy skills, they're life skills. They teach you how to move through the world with ease, how to communicate without fear, and how to stand in your own quiet strength. The secret behind every kiss is this: you don't need to do more to be desirable. You just need to be more of yourself. Power isn't loud. It's the calm confidence that says, I know my worth. It's the way your energy fills a room before you say a word. It's the way your softness feels like strength. So remember, this was never about pleasing him. It was about awakening you, because when you start embodying that energy, attraction stops being a game. It becomes a reflection of your inner balance. That's the real secret power behind every kiss. It's a mirror showing you how powerful, magnetic, and enough you already are. So as you leave this video, remember this truth. You have the power to make a man feel safe, desired, and addicted, not because of how you look, because of how you make him feel. And that energy, that feminine calm mixed with confidence, is what makes you unforgettable. It's what turns a simple kiss into a message that says, you're safe here, you're seen, you're wanted. That's the kind of presence that lingers long after the moment ends. That's what men remember, not the technique, but the feeling. So keep exploring your softness, your rhythm, your stillness, because every time you do, you grow closer to your most magnetic self. If this message spoke to you, tell me in the comments which of these 3 kisses surprised you most. Like the video if you felt something shift inside you. Subscribe for more secrets on attraction, confidence, and emotional connection, because this isn't just about love. It's about awakening the version of you that no longer doubts her power. You don't need permission to be magnetic. You already are.